I do, again, a lot of organizing among my parishioners for important neighborhood issues, but also among the poor and non-parishioners and others in the neighborhood. And what organizing does for me is two very important things. When I was first ordained, I began to realize very quickly that I couldn't simply speak in the pulpit in abstractions and generalities, but that I needed to give people real, concrete ways to live out their faith. And what I find in organizing work is that the first thing we do is we begin to relate to one another. Jesus, of course, his first step was to form relationships by calling disciples. And he would often inquire of them, what are you seeking? What are you looking for? And so to establish relationships and then find out people's concerns, their needs, and their interests. So to me, this is just as a pastor, a concrete way to live out the gospel. And then once we begin to see some of the concrete concerns that people have, to actually begin to make a difference in the things that really matter in their lives. And so this is, at the interrelational level. And then as a parish, to be making a difference in the neighborhood is essential. Too many churches are seen as sort of enclaves or places apart rather than integral to the neighborhood. And very often serious needs are going unaddressed. The poor, even just simple things like curb repair or speeding traffic. I mean, but to be part of what's going on in our neighbors' lives is essential. And so I find that organizing work helps me to do that as a pastor, as a priest, and as a disciple of Jesus. So that's the first, I think, reason that I find organizing work so essential. It helps me to fulfill my mission as a pastor. Now, the other thing is that one of our organizers always has this expression, when this is done, he wants to be able to go out and kick the tires. I always say, I want the word to become flesh. I want real, concrete results from discipleship. I want, so one of the things I did in one of my parishes, we put up a $4.5 million recreation center, and organizing work helped us to get the city to help with some money and to raise private money to do that. But in the end, it was brick and mortar. It wasn't just about, abstractions and generalities. It was about real brick and mortar things. And so this is the second reason that I think that organizing work is essential for me, because it's about real, it's about the word becoming flesh. Essentially, evangelization is to draw people into a life-changing, transformative relationship with Jesus Christ. But also, Jesus said to us, we have to go out and announce the good news to the poor, to those who are suffering, those who are struggling. And obviously, that's at the heart of evangelization, to bring this good news. And as the Pope has often pointed out, good news doesn't just mean good news in some intellectual sense, but a good news that really means something's actually changing. Something's really going on that's going to affect my life. And that, therefore, again, is, I think, essential to evangelization, not just announcing intellectual good news or theories and ideas, but real, concrete differences in people's lives. We have a 200-person inpatient drug treatment program that the parish has sponsored for years. And it came out of a parish prayer group many years ago. And they were threatened with eviction as our neighborhood begins to gentrify. There are just some of our neighbors that don't want that kind of a facility in their neighborhood. And so they were threatened with eviction. But again, through organizing efforts of over 50 congregations united with us, we were able to get the mayor to make a promise before 800 people in our church that drug treatment program would continue on Capitol Hill, and that a new home had to be found, but it would be on the hill, and they did not have to move until that home was found. And we held him to it, and he came through for us. And in the end, over $3 million was set aside to renovate a facility that we can use. And so, yes, I would say this work does real concrete things. Lives are being saved.